So what I'm going to do is pretend to be some kind of investigator. We're going to throw some various components together, hopefully some of which will flick a few switches with you. Okay, so this is the application that you saw demonstrated. I won't restore it because that was the previous thing we had to go at. So this is the whiteboard. So obviously I can start by, we can call this invest. This is where I do a live spelling mistake and we all chuckle because I'm a bit dyslexic. So we're going to call it an investigation regarding a guy who's run away with a huge imaginary bag of cash, and his name is Jack the Hat. Now poor Jack's taken on a bit of a life recently because we've been working on this fictitious story, so forgive me if I get carried away. So here he is, our friend Jack the Hat. Now you might not have noticed, but Jack wears a hat, hence why we're calling him Jack the Hat. So I can annotate this now, and I can actually choose, for example, to go with red text and point out perhaps some of his key features. So we'll write in here features. For example, and you'll notice now how good I am at observation. Hat. And obviously these could be incredibly mundane things, even not as observant as my own. And you get the general idea that you would be able to sort of select everything on here, and then we'll just grab it, make it a little bit smaller so that we can we'll just throw it out of the way there, for example, just to give us an idea. So that's the first part, and we'll maybe load of notes in that, and we're just going to move them out of the way. So other things we might include would be, say, closed circuit television footage of, say for example, somewhere where we believed an accomplice was actually filmed. And with this one, this is just taken from YouTube, where I imagine most of your clients hang out. So obviously these are accomplices of our friend here, and hopefully with this software we're going to be able to identify where they are. And when we spot them, we'll be able to grab one. So come on, give me a decent bit of footage. Okay, there you go. So this is definitely somebody that we need to be looking out for when we get an error. And this has been happening of late, and we're not wholly sure why. So I'll just move this out of the way in the hope. It didn't work, did it? So let's try that. There we go. And I've just realised what the trick is not to make it round. So there we go. So we can have that, and we can continue with that on in playing. So it's playing in the background while I grab this character, and obviously I can throw him over there for a minute, and then we can grab this one and go back to finding more accomplices, because this is we'll call him Billy the Head, because that's he's mostly head. So we'll grab something else here and we'll pause it, and this is obviously gone to a dark piece, so that was maybe not the best place to pause it. No, actually you think I practiced this, but I haven't. Right, that's not a good one. I'm going to catch one in a minute. There you go. Got him. Right, perfect. So we're going to grab him as well, and we're going to call him Jimmy, because clearly anybody who does that needs treating. So again, and that's the video reference file that we might want to throw down there. I'm going to come back to these guys in a bit and make some notes on them. But other things we might be including would be perhaps, I don't know, some evidence. So newspaper. This is a newspaper article that we found on Jack the Hat. Which we can also include, and of course it'd be rude not to grab a pen and make comments about, for example, his famous hat. Yes, and you can see I've got a bit of a hat fetish. So you get the general idea. When we actually go in and out of this particular desktop, it begins to shape and form, and you can bring pretty much anything in. The video is great to bring in and manipulate by hand, but it's one of those things we were trying to do on the desktop, and it doesn't quite work that way. So you get the general idea. What else have we got down here that we could include? Let's go to here, and if I was on here, for example, I might want to go to Google Maps, or the equivalent, which is the Microsoft version, which we talked about. aerial view, and again you've got this ability to dive straight on in and look into great detail about, so for example, this power station has almost certainly been doing bad things with public funding from somewhere. And being a Windows 8 device, of course, you can just quickly flip on here. And if I wanted to grab anything like a screenshot of the desktop, I could do that. Put any images, anything like that, but I'm desperately trying. So one of the other things that we might include, for example, would be some finances. And this is one of the features that we like with this particular application. This is obviously Excel, and we'll talk about that. Probably looks like nothing from there, but you get the idea that you can pinch in and out on here, and actually, if I just grab that, you get the idea that you can very, very quickly have some data coming in. We've got fixed, so it's not going to allow me to do that. So I'm going to find another one that does, and we'll do it there. So you get the idea, you can pinch and zoom and highlight. So say for example we're analysing this particular data, within here you've got a feature to start inking. For example, I might grab a red pen and say we definitely need to be questioning this component, these components here and here, and then grabbing blue and asking, well, why? And possibly here, really? You get the general idea, and of course, surprisingly, they stay directly within the file and proportional when you're zooming in and out. And when you do a save, they again will save inside of the file. So these are the kinds of things. I mean, let's have a look at this if we pin it down a little bit and grab a screenshot. So here I'm just going to grab a screenshot of here using the snipping tool and save that onto this folder, which is the police. And we'll overwrite that, and we'll get rid of that. Zoom away. Go, don't save. So then we'll return back to here, and we'll bring in that screenshot that we just found, and that will be called a capture. And as you can see, if I'll grab this here, and that's the file that we just created, including the annotations. Or a screen of it just to capture. So again, it's a way of having a lot of different components, all of which can be added to notes, can be used in research in a big desktop environment. So that's kind of the slicker version, hopefully, whizzed through of some of these features. Next, my colleague and I are going to do a video interrogation, something which hopefully you'll enjoy more than he will. Thank you.